go over the minutes.
Jeff said he'd be here.
Yeah. It's a quorum, 5?
Four.
Four.
We're well ordered.
Motion to approve.
Everything good? I second that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any new business? I'll go slow,
Yeah,
Reed.
yeah.
I'll go slow. Prospect Farm. Oh, actually I do have something. I met the Valentine family up there.
Oh, I did too. I had never
Okay.
met them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, so they had pulled a cable across the area that we used to park many years ago for the Longboat Trail. And they've been, hey Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Running late.
It just got started.
All right.
And we're very slow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we just approved the minutes and we're on new business first. I don't know, we just started. So the Ballantyne family owns the land at the end of Carter Notch Road where the ski trail parking lot is. Yes, I ran into him and his wife and they've been bringing in a little camper and staying there and just all sorts of history and interest and excitement that we're, using it, and he wants everybody to continue using it. But definitely wants to have a presence there, so that was good.
Is there a reason for the Valentines?
We don't currently have one with them, but I don't know what
What
they.
did they just sign an agreement on a yearly basis, or?
With the ski touring?
Mm.
No, it's a multi-year. I forget what it is, but I think it's like a 20 or 30-year lease. I'd have to
I don't
check
think there's an easement on it.
No.
Because I was
No,
just
there,
looking at the
easement,
yeah.
no. But Jackson's parking lot, the Ski Touring Foundation has a long-term, but not permanent easement with them.
I ran into them as well. I was up there and we're coming down, and Nora, my wife, said, "Oh, you're the camper here. Are you allowed to do that?" And I was like, "Only if you're one person."
There you go. That's
and
how I did it
and
too.
I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna say anything," And then two people walked up and in front of the camper, and they said, "How do we get to Prospect Farm?" And I said, "Walk this way." And I said, "Where did you park?" And they said, "Oh, we parked at the the ski touring lot, basically back there.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's probably fine for today. You're not really supposed to park there in the summer.
Yeah.
It's a winter-only parking lot. And as I said those words, his head popped up from behind the trailer. And I said, because it's the Ballantyne zone, and the head pops up and says, I'm Mr. Ballantyne, and that is absolutely right. And I was so happy that I said,
Oh, nicely done.
you know, that I wasn't like, oh, sure, park there all the time. Yeah, whatever
you
you
can
want.
even camp there.
Yeah, camp there. No one cares. The guy never comes up.
It's
So
like people are saying the right thing.
Yeah,
I was
the
very
same.
pleased.
Those people love that,
I did the same thing. We popped right out, and then I was like, whoa. I was like, really?
People do use the Jackson one during the summer period.
Yeah.
They
So
do
he-
use what?
They do use the Jackson ski touring in the summer
In the summer,
sometimes.
yeah.
And he was
was
fine.
fine.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's fine for today. He's like, just
Yeah.
try it next time and not park there. And he was very friendly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's excellent. Well, that's good. So that's good new business. Any other new business?
Did they do the cutting in the spring up there, do we know?
For Prospect?
Yeah.
They do in the fall.
Yeah, we paid to have him mowed.
Because when I went,
Davidson.
yeah, I mean, it's, in the latter part of September, they had not sprayed the knotweed yet up there. And I don't know whether it ever got sprayed or not. It was on the agenda, I remember, with the town to do it. It's too late now, but
Yeah, find that one out. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they used to cut it earlier and then we moved it back just to make sure that any ground nesting birds had like made it out. So it was getting cut like in August or
Yeah,
something, like
yeah.
earlier. And then so we were like, oh no, we need to puch it back. You
There's a
know,
certain bird you were concerned about.
you're talking about the cutting up in the orchard area.
yeah. Up there.
But the knotweed was down in the stump.
Yes, in the
Yeah,
stump, yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard it. The last time I was up there, which was a couple weeks ago now, the knotweed was still there and they had cut
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't recently.
All right, well, I guess that rounds up Prospect. Jackson Falls.
Somebody moves more chips, huh? Who did that?
I'm
That's
guilty.
It
Ken.
wasn't me. Thank you, Ken.
Good job.
Some phantom moved it. Good job.
Anything else for Jackson Falls?
Okay. No, just say good job.
Good job.
I've been scouting out just various interpretive signs. So I went and looked at some ones on Nature Conservancy land and on Forest Service land and some mountain. And basically, I was kind of, I don't have anything to actually hand you, which would be nice if I did. But I was kind of going, basically the first idea was like, oh, we're thinking like 3-panel, 2-panel, 1-panel, kind of, like the 3 panels, the 2 sides and the back, 2 panels just like that, 1 panel like that. And I think kind of based on what I looked at and what I was thinking for our needs is maybe I'll do some sort of mock-up at some point, but is like a little roof on it, but like a 1 panel, and on the right side is essentially a map of the falls showing access points and trails, as well as maybe potential parking. So like on that map, it could also show the correct way you would park, and then like the overflow parking from the ski touring lot on the Crossroad, not Wilson, Valley Cross.
Yeah, back across here.
And then on the left side, keeping it real simple, having like 3 bullet points of like guidelines for, welcome to Falls, carry in, carry out, this is a trash-free facility, whatever kind of 3 bulleted points kind of things we want. And because the more I thought about it, at least for right there for where I think we want it, which I would think would be kind of right at
The big part.
the big parking lot, and there's a break that kind of feels like a natural place. Like right in the middle, there's a break in the fence. Feels like a natural place to go down. Because that's like so visible from the road and from so many areas, I kind of thought like, well, I don't know if you'd want a big 3-paneled, super interpretive thing, or if we just want something simple,
Just to
I
get the
think
point.
so.
just to get the point across. And
Trails.
I thought the less written on it, the more likely people will read it and follow whatever, kind of the guidelines.
Yep.
So that's kind of, and I don't know, we can come up with what we want. When I had to do it for 10 Mountain, the one I did was basically, it's open from sunrise to sunset, carry out all your trash. I can't remember what else I said. No motorized recreation, but that's not really an issue at the falls, I don't think. Someone's gonna take their ATV up and down.
No jet boats will I?
Yeah, no jet skis in the falls.
No fishing hooks.
Yeah.
You're good.
So something like that, I think, pretty simple, and hopefully maybe next month or sometime soon I can hand a sheet of paper that's got a mock-up of what it looks like. But that's what I was thinking. Unless people are like really like, I love to do interpretive signage, so if people are like really into the idea of having some sort of natural history or cultural history interpretation, we can definitely explore that. But I was kind of thinking for that, like, you get out of your car, for that visitor gets out of their car, they're walking,
Yeah.
really they just need to know these things.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
people do
that's-
stop and read those signs like that with the snowboarders.
Well, I was
And
kinda
they're
thinking
very intent on reading the signs.
If we
They like
wanted to
read them.
put, if we wanted to put similar ones, I think they would go farther. Like once you enter the falls, like they would go along a path somewhere. You know, like so you could, position so you're kind of looking at the falls, and you could sit there, and you would take the time to kind of read something like that, versus the like the entryway where you're just like, how do I access the falls? How do I get down there? To me, it seems like the interpretive ones would be farther. I know you can't go too far into the falls, but like farther down somewhere.
You might want to talk with the Jackson Historical Society and see whether they might want to, collaborate on
Yeah.
just the history of the falls.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it'd be interesting to have some natural history ones, but ones, plein air painting or whatever else. That
Because you have the old pieces from the old dam up there, and there used to be a grist mill there, I think, and then it became
Yeah,
the
there was.
hydroelectric for the Wentworth, and then it had the history of becoming part of the Wildland Scenic. So there's a lot of interesting history
I
there.
think 'cause there's that big pipe and people always want to know. what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Oh,
There used to be a swimming pool at the bottom and all that sort of stuff.
The only question I had, and this is probably farther down the line, but I was thinking as I was looking at it, is that, that gap in the fence seems like the place to put that sign unless that fence doesn't stay. And I know that originally we had talked about it being a temporary fence, but I really like it.
stays.
I think it stays. I like it. I think it's done its
gonna be
job.
there
I
for a
think
while.
I think it looks nice. So
Yeah.
I just, if that fence were to leave, then that might kind of feel like an awkward place to have a big kiosk. So that would be the only thing that I could think of that.
By the time the fence rots, the sign will probably rot too.
That's a good point.
Gray's Inn.
Well, I was just going to suggest in Jackson Falls that in the spring, we might want to get another load of chips. I don't think there's a lot of sense in putting more chips. There's more area that could use chips, but I also think to put them down now, if you get a big spring freshet, we could lose a lot of the effort, just presto. And then, I think there's some places there where if we put in some posts with just some of the plastic chain or something to constrain them. I mean, what we have up there right now is the right areas, but it's very temporary looking, and I think we could do it in a better way that's more permanent out there. And then the last question is whether we want to, in the spring, look at doing a few more areas with revegetation. That area did take.
Did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have plans for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it might make sense.
Expand the island.
Yeah, I don't think that makes sense to do any of those from now until the spring, but
No.
I think we put it on the agenda for the spring.
But you're saying better, like posts and.
Yeah,
corners
I mean, right now, people can wander off where you want them to go.
Yeah.
At the same time, you want it to be aesthetically pleasing, and, the stuff that's roped in, stringed in, whatever, typically contains 80-90% of the people. There's always going to be somebody who's going to jump over it, but, the objective is not 100%. It's
Right.
just,
We've had people pull things down before.
yeah.
It's
We
gotten
tried to
better,
cut off
though.
some paths.
And
They just
there are
kept pulling
also
down.
town people, if you put plastic up, it will disappear the next day.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, this chain that's, you can put up, but you can get different colored plastic chain, you can just get something.
I'm talking about if it's plastic, it will get
Yeah,
torn out.
yeah, and some of those are,
I'm serious.
yeah,
It will-
this chain is also plastic coated. I just was trying to think of something that aesthetically fit.
Yeah, I heard what you're saying,
Yeah.
but there are folks that are vehemently opposed to anything.
Plastic, period.
Any
Yeah.
change,
I mean, the chips are
harder.
we're pretty close to acceptable.
I've gotten a lot of positives on the chips. I don't know
Yeah.
what others have gotten. But
Yeah. Initially, there was some people, but it was just a complaint.
And we had a
Once
hell
they
of a
saw
time.
the benefit of it, and that the town voted to accept the process, they kind of quieted down and said, okay.
But did anybody say anything about the island we put in? Did they-
No,
Well, I guess,
There's no
yeah, I mean,
comments or good
yeah.
I think they're used to us working there now, like taking control and making it better.
Yeah.
The
Seemed like
flip
a
side of
weird-
that is I don't know if you noticed this year, the vegetation has really grown in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
3 years
improving.
ago, a lot of those areas were just dry as anything, and you couldn't grow anything. You wouldn't, you try to
Yeah,
plant
right,
something,
Right,
die.
right,
Uh,
yeah. No,
And now there's a whole bunch of stuff.
it looks healthier as a
Grown.
whole.
It's pretty, yeah.
well, I mean, the other way to do it is just put post, minus the chain or something. I mean,
Yeah.
Post maybe like with the cord.
yeah, I mean,
Would
there's
that
different
pass?
ways. I mean,
Probably not. You could try.
it's been used as a technique on a lot of trails. Baxter's used it. Do you get negative feedback? The answer is yes, you do. But tell me something that doesn't get
Right.
negative feedback from somebody. The question
Yeah.
is, what's the best
I
management?
think we're right.
And then defend it.
Maybe you just do it during the most tranquil part of the year, which is
That's
hot
true, too.
summer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then take it down and.
It's not as noticeable too, because the green, the leaves and stuff really have.
I guess all I'm suggesting is if we do something, we just need to make sure we figure out a way that's,
Advertise in advance and
Yeah.
the reasons why,
yeah,
yeah.
we get some acceptance.
Yeah.
We don't have an issue.
Because the risk you run is killing the trees there,
Right, and then you.
because you're
Yeah.
trampling
Yeah,
the roots,
because I
yeah.
know part of what you wanted to mark off was the part up by the upper part of the falls. So at the end of the two trails, stone trails that
Yeah.
come down,
Yeah.
and they meet in that little open area,
Yeah,
and then right down below that, the roots are all exposed.
really. big
And
time.
people cross over those to get to the rocks, so you were talking about like just roping that
Yeah.
off, which would be a good idea. And
Yeah.
maybe people wouldn't complain about that,
Right,
Because
that's clear.
we have areas that are marked off right now.
Yeah.
It's just kind of string and it's kind of worn looking.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is do it
And
in
when
a
we
in a
pull
more
that out,
permanent,
so-
but,
right.
and.
More tasteful.
Yeah, more distasteful, because you see that it works.
Yeah. And I think it also shows that we're committed, for the whole
Yeah.
season as opposed to just when it looks tight.
But that's just a super high volume use area now, just,
So if I say tasteful direction of traffic, that would
Tasteful
cover
and
Yeah.
durable.
Yeah.
durable
That's
or aesthetically matching, however, yeah.
foot traffic.
And I don't mean cordoning off everything there.
No.
There's ways of directing
No.
people where you want them to go.
Yeah.
And basically keeping them off areas that
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
sensitive.
In that one area, we had the folks out, we've lost about 10 feet of soil there.
Yeah.
All right, so we all set with Jackson Falls? All right, Gray's Inn. There's not. Still looks good. Okay, so conservation easements. Just have to make sure we're walking them. Do the online application.
And we're not doing the letters this year. Or if we're gonna do them, we have to do them.
Oh, sending out the letters, I thought? Oh, we have to do it ourselves, right, okay.
Am I don't know if there
We have
were
a property? I
easements
know,
that
right?
were, handled
So,
by people
Mark-
who left when I came on.
Mark Ross Parent. What was Mark's
Did you do
property?
Burgess?
No, I do both of those. I do Burgess Highland.
Did he do, what's, Tierney?
Tilney.
Tilney,
Tilney.
sorry.
No, that's Pam. I
No,
think.
no, I do Lori Gabriel.
I have the Tilney property.
Yeah, Tilney.
What else? I did the Tyndall
You did
one.
Tin.
I did the Rockwell.
Tom and what does Tom do? That's terrible.
Is this like trying to remember the seventh name of the?
Wait, isn't
I know.
there, do we have a file over here
We
that
do.
has them?
We do.
Does anyone know what?
Mark.
It's probably in our minutes somewhere too.
Yeah. He's not.
Need a key. Important files.
Probably not urgent. No, it's not urgent.
Yeah,
We can-
yeah. Conservation Commission, conservation easements.
Well, we can look it up and have it resolved just using the computer. You wouldn't have an easement either to walk. Oh, the peppers. What about who does the peppers? That's another.
That's another town one?
Yeah.
Who's the Peppers with? Is that the society or?
Yeah, it must be. If we're walking it.
Planning board person also has keys,
Oh.
but apparently not to ours.
Tom put the special block on it.
I have to be- I know I put my keys there.
Yeah, peppers.
Now, is the commission responsible not for all easements, is that correct or incorrect?
We only have to walk the ones that either the town holds the easement on,
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe, so that's why there's only, so while there's, 15, 20 parcels of land in town of conservation
Yeah,
easements on it,
yeah, okay.
we only do like 4 or 5.
Because like the
It's
Ski
fine.
Touring Foundation's easements are with Upper Saco, so they walk it.
So
Right,
they want
right, that's
that,
part of
yeah.
theirs.
So if there's not one, then that's fine. I was just
No,
curious if
well,
there-
a couple people shared, but
Yeah, and like, I gotta feel like there was,
no, I think the peppers is one of them that were.
I'm trying to remember. Which is the one, wasn't there one that people never wanted to do?
Oh, well, there's the Jackson Rock, right?
Oh, that?
Profile rock.
Well, I don't think we had to do, was that one?
I thought that was something we were supposed to monitor.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
That's
they-
important.
I think they own it. Well, the thing is, they cut all most of the
Right.
trees down, so there's not much left to monitor.
Manage the brush.
I walk by it, I can tell you
On
that.
Tin Line?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we have a list somewhere.
Yeah, well,
And
That's
so I
right.
remember we wrote them all down at one point and made sure that we could enter them into the Spinif website.
Well, who does the Wildcat one? Off Carter Knox Road at the end, by Moody Farm
the-
Road.
The Holcomb's property?
I thought it was Wildcat Trust or something like that.
well, there's the one of
Yes.
the,
That's it.
Well, no, there's the Holcomb property, which is
Right.
now owned by Jackson Skiing Touring, but Spinoff owns, the Society of Protection Hampshire Forest owns the easement on that, or maintains the easement on that.
well, if they had the easement, then we would be the, we'd be the one monitoring it.
Mhm.
Well, Jackson Ski Touring owns the land.
But they did current before that, though.
Um,
That's recent, right? That Jackson's owned it?
Oh, it's probably been for 7, 8
Oh,
years
okay.
or so, it's been a while.
Really?
But the easement, conservation easement is owned by Spinoff,
Mm-hmm.
but the Ski Touring owns the land.
I wonder if we walk
And
that
then-
one for Spinif.
Yeah, we normally would.
Yeah, and that could be, because I don't remember the Ski Touring Foundation ever being approached about checking the easements.
I bet we walked that one for Spinif.
Yeah,
Because where we got, I think there were like two I thought that we did for them, and then I thought the rest of them, we were like, oh, we don't have to do this. No, you have to do them for your own records, but just enter them into the Spinif database.
Okay. Well, if
I
you went
think-
on, it would show. If you went on to their database.
and I
it
think
shows
you're right,
everything.
there is another one that's further down below
Well,
Bill
there's,
Dump, which is
there's the property off of Maloon Road. That's a couple 100 acres. That's called the Wildcat. That might be called Wildcat Trust.
yeah,
But we don't walk that. I found that just, one day going through things, and then Mark Prospera kind of took it upon himself to
and I
walk
don't
it
know
and
who owns
research
the
it.
easement on that.
I'd have to look into it, but
Yeah.
Mark kind of did the legwork on that one.
But I think you're right, I think it is under easement, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get that figured out. I mean, I'll talk to Tom. I'll send Tom an email.
So figure out business for Ken and Jeff.
Yeah, or just, see whose easements need to be replaced. All right, there's nothing in the wetlands that I've gotten. Annual report. Don't think we have to get into that unless Bill wants to start.
You writing it tonight?
Bill, you're gonna work on the annual report?
Excuse me? I got my own to worry about.
Okay. Any public comment, Hank? All right. Job well done.
556, wow.
Nice. to adjourn this meeting?
I'm gonna second that motion.
I may be out of town December 1st or the first
The first,
meeting.
okay.
So, on paper.
All those in favor? All right, 5:56.
So there are no
So
other
give me
motions we
a
have
quick
to have?
history of the
No.